The Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) has predicted heavy rainfall, thunderstorms and heavy flooding in its weather forecast for 2023. NIMET, in its forecast published in January, stated that 2023 would witness early onset of rainfall accompanied by flooding. Starting in March, coastal areas in the south, particularly Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers will experience torrential rains. Southern inland cities will experience precipitation in April, while Central States will experience heavy rains in May. NIMET also predicted extended rainfall in Gombe, Kaduna, Kwara, Enugu, Anambra, Ogun, and Lagos states. Between June and July, the northern states of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe, and Borno would experience the beginning of rain, which will be at its peak between July and September. The 2023 weather forecast paints a bleak picture against the backdrop of prevailing global inflation and economic vulnerabilities and uncertainties. The continued impact of extreme weather events isn't lost on businesses. Many micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria that were already facing existential threats from a struggling economy have seen their pains aggravated as floods are crippling their businesses. A majority of small business owners have suffered huge losses due to the heavy flooding in Benin City. An assessment of the situation was conducted to understand the situation and to estimate the extent of impact upon them.
It's normally for building, rain they always disturb building because even the starting, everything concerning the cement to the missile. For this rainy season now, no they be our season at all for sales, because now this time we reduce gain low turn for customer because of the rain. Both in all we are doing, both in painting, because everybody they fear make they say it carry them go work, the rain come meet them on that process. So let's say they have a lot of damage in the building industry than dry season. So for this time around, maybe the time we will be iron people take the smile, we will they produce paint take the smile, anything concerning business. So it affect at this time very well. And only cement would they protect well. Like POP cement will be protected very well, because but other ones like iron with the outside, the water no they spoil them. You can only just see there, but we go only reduce hand in our purchasing. In purchasing we will drop, because if you too take for granted, it can be like as quality as the other ones. For rainy season, even us now until the road they tell us, especially this Kema road where we dey, even they plead for the government, they have tried, but let them still finish up the work where they start, the good work where the government don't start for this our Kema road. May they finish them, because it will really hard. But for the road, for the water, they spoil our motor very well. Until we know the cost of the maintenance in this time around, everything don't increase. Until for us now, for we still affect us for business, because na free delivery we dey do for our business, the thing really affect us. But we can't do away with that. Now what we are assigned, say look we dey do now. So now what we dey into, we must find way out. Understand? We find way out. We go take the pit and highest if person buy, we go wait we carry like 5 people materials. No, they be only one person material. We carry like 5 people material. Use them, take gather them, take go on one. So now customer now we come the village and we preach them, make them get a size patient for us who could be able to meet up. Because if we carry one person come out like that, we buy small material, sure you know go make your gain from inside. So they see the paint for rainy season, but with the wash weather, sometimes now in the morning we start. If the rain, we look and say weather never clear, they enter. But for inside room now, that one be say before 2 to 3 days they don't paint and finish. Understand? For anything concerning painting, if water don't enter, automatically that moment you don't get a shortage for inside. You go need to be doing where you for start again.
I have family members who are into pawpaw, growing of pawpaw. They farm it in the area called Oria, after Ubiaja. So, and sometimes you have to bring that pawpaw to Lagos or Port Harcourt to sell it. Sometimes the vehicle will break down in the Ekpoma axis of the road, 2 days, 3 days, and you're carrying pawpaw that is only the lifespan of that pawpaw is only maybe 4 or 5 days. Then you already lost 3 days on the road. Before you get to Lagos, the pawpaw that you would have sold for maybe a truck for 1 million, they are not telling you that they will buy it for 400,000. and you don't have any choice. You have to so the farmer will run at a loss. So those are the things that they are facing. So if government also can address the issue of roads in the rural areas, particularly roads leading to farm and market, roads connecting farms and market, major markets versus the farming areas, so that when people farm, they have access to bring this farm to the market, to these products to the market, so that the farmers and even at the end of the day, even the people who are buying, even the consumers, the prices will still be fair for them. Because if the cost of bringing these things to the markets are fair enough, then it also reflects on the prices.
The rainy season, they affect my business due to the rainy season strategies. And when we do the rainy, due to rainy season, you know, say people not go fit come market come buy something, and people not fit come market come buy something. Now for me they do online business journal. So as I they do online business journal, so at least the online business still they help me small, but not just manage, not be say e reach. Our government now be due to fuel scarcity and everything, it reduce the tariff and everything, even the government work reduce them. But at least by now, as rainy season day, if not to reduce the store rentage and everything, they're supposed to reduce them. So they're not reducing. Even as we are talking now, to even if we want even buy our goods now, buy our goods come on Benin now, carry and come shop. Or before now, let's say with the buy goods 1,000. Presently now, if we buy 1,000 to transport and everything, almost equivalent to that same money we will buy.
Well, it all depends on the type of businesses that you are involved in. For some of us who are involved in the sales and distribution of cement, we are seriously affected by this weather, both because a lot of persons are not into bidding because they will be disturbed by rain. Even accessing the deeper part of the state, taking this product from where we have it in the store and taking it to areas where people are bidding is also very difficult, because the time might come where you have your motor restricted moving to those areas because of the bad road and all that. And again, bidding, because like I said, we are involved in cement distribution. A lot of people don't involve in molding of cement this period. So for us as businessmen selling cement, this is the period we need to slow down. This is the period we don't need to go into the market to begin to hustle for customers. We just allow the period to go, allow the season to go, so that when at its peak, after the rainy season, the business will pick up again.
The preliminary assessment suggests widespread loss and damage to all categories of SMEs. The submergence of entire neighborhoods and localities has brought the daily livelihood activities of such businesses to a screeching halt. Factors like sparse saving, the lack of legal status, along with the small scale of their operations, all exacerbate the impact of disasters on such enterprises. Under such context, sustaining such businesses in the local market becomes a challenge. What innovation is precisely needed to help small and informal businesses during such exigent times?
One of the main job problems that I want to start with is that we're in an environment where a lot of people, at least let me analyze it this way, that at least 70% of our people are not proactive. Because it's one thing for you to have an information, it's another thing for you to be proactive, it's another thing for you to plan ahead, it's another thing for you to look at the negative effects and the positive effects. But a lot of our people don't actually do this. What they just do is that once an information is released, then they don't put things in place until it happens. That is why you discover that a lot of people failed. So what we have to do now is, first of all, to be proactive, to plan ahead, to know that, oh, this thing is coming. Let us at least plan ahead. And I want to start with saying that, one, you have to know the nature of your business, because all business are not the same. So when you're able to know the nature of your business, you now sit down, you plan ahead. Rain help agricultural products. Then, like the farmers, should know that, okay, the rain is coming. But at least they also need that they should go to the farm to make sure that they clear. At this time, they should now walk ahead and say, okay, it's not just we go to the farm in the morning. If they discover that the rain falls, just like as it fell today, and in this afternoon part of it is now like bright, there is nothing that should stop them not to go to the farm to maintain their crops.
What kind of advice will you give people who are in a flood-prone area? First of all, it's not even nice to develop in a flood-prone area. So when you know that your business is a flood-prone area, you should do enough to find ways to relocate your business from that area. Because staying in an area where you know that it is flood-prone and you are still running your business there, you are definitely going to struggle. It's unfortunate that business owners in Nigeria were already struggling, in so many areas. And the issue of this electricity failure, that we're experiencing in the country. The only thing that a proper business person can do is maybe have an alternative power supply, depending on what you do. If you're into things that don't require heavy machinery, for example, you can have solar and other things like that. But when you are into things that require heavy machinery, heavy equipment, that to have a solar farm that will carry that kind of thing, the government at that stage should be able to come up with a plan or something that can help business owners. And electricity is one thing that a lot of businesses depend on, from small businesses to big businesses. Everybody depends on electricity, from the local welder to the barber to the sometimes even food vendors. One area that is affecting food supply in Nigeria today is the area of transportation and logistics. That is one area whereby you see that people farm. You go to the farm, people actually have this food in the farm, but there are no proper roads to bring them out, number one. There is no proper refrigerating system. Like in the West, for example, they have refrigerated trains where you can grow your tomatoes in one part of the country, transport it by a refrigerated train. I'm talking about not just a truck, a train that is refrigerated, which means you can pack all sort of stuff inside the train carts, load it from one part of the country. It's not going to get spoiled. You can drive like hundreds or thousands of kilometers from one area in Europe to another area.
Like the state government really try for us this time around for concerning tax. You understand the pattern and the way they take the pay am. You understand the sweet us will be the government, will be the payee, but to see the plead to them, we still need assistance for them, assistance on, in short, on every areas. Because if they say business, your other maybe electricity no dey your house, that's how you go stay affect. So on every areas where government go give them, say they make the environment very easy for us. That be the most key of it all. Say we serve this business now, buying and selling of goods and services, and when your expenses is higher than your income, the business will always collapse. We always tell them now, this time around, now they put eye down, they watch that gain, reduce the expenses, because now that main thing now be the expenses where they the business. It make your expenses day lower. If now what you say they eat 3 times, say 4 times, where you begin to eat 2 times, say things they difficult this time around. Make it for be able to say after this raining on the Sunday where the sun go come, work for be able to back up again, take cover.
Advice I'll give people, because say they sell umbrella during rainy season, or they sell pumpkin leaf. That one not mean say you close your shop. You must still the manager, and the little advice say you go stay manage. The English people say save for rainy day. So save for that rainy day now, because we know say save for rainy day. It is not easy, even compared to the country or Nigeria where we dey now. Save for rainy day, not be who say I ain't go save for rainy day. Who not say not go feel save for rainy day. So now just now by His grace, now all of us still they live. Now all of us still they survive. So all those the advice when I feel give to my coach business partner, say maybe we are better, because all these things where we dey encounter due to rainy season, maybe your shop now rain not fair the disturbance. Maybe this period now rain feel on the disturbance. And money where your budget where budget before now, you could can't use all those money. So wait till we go anyhow we say we go still manage. If government can even able to help us during rainy season, say at least this rainy season, from let's say from June to September, so amount you were paying 5,000 before, reduce it to 3,000. could have more preferable during that period. So it's more preferable. So, but we are in Nigeria. We need to take it as well. But I'm still pleading to the government aims and any other thing.
Yes, diversification is good. Online has even come to take its proper place in the business activity, because a lot of the things we do today is actually online. A lot of persons pay online. A lot of persons talk to you online. The only thing you do is that once things are verified, the payment is verified. You don't even need to see your customer before the goods are shipped. Reducing the taxes paid by business owners by some of us is a welcome development, because sometimes you are not properly assessed and you are given a tax to pay. Most times, paying such taxes is difficult. We need to do more. What are we doing more? We need to add more to our staff. They need more money to come to work, because there's no staff that can actually survive on the previous salary that we pay.
Sometimes when we call on government to assist, it takes time. So we think you people in that environment, if there are ways you can make the drainage open, packing the drainage during the dry season, prepare it down so that when it is rain, so the water will not be so much affect that area. And two, it depends on the things you are into. So if it's a movable thing, at least when the store is the area is flooding, then you can decide to pick little of it, go to a place, sample it, so that when people are in need of it, then you can move to the store, move it to them, so that you will not be just idling like that. And when you see that the place is flooding, and there are some easier business you can also attach into. By the time you call on the government, like the ITV, you invite them so they video it, they show it to the world, and individual may have that sympathy to assist you. So by doing that, at least you will expose the area too, and people when I know that by the time you heard, sir, this is what I'm selling in this area, and the flood now affected me. So those people, Nigeria, they have that sympathy and say, see what this guy is selling here, and this flood affects. So for him not to be idle, they may come to at least assist you that period. Those are some things you may put together.
The tragic impact of floods on daily wages, small businesses, and the unorganized sector is harder to calculate. This is because of the great variation in the nature of business activity and mobility practiced by the various categories of this group. For instance, some small business owners sell their products by roaming from one place to another, while others have set up shop in permanent structures. The National Agriculture Extension and Research Liaison Services at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria had estimated that agriculture lost about 700 billion naira to floods in 2022. He also said that the construction and property sector were vulnerable to flooding in 2023, noting that the NBS had reported that they contributed about 20 trillion naira to the GDP in the first 3 quarters of 2022. The 2022 floods resulted in 662 deaths in 33 states, and the ruination of agricultural investments and other properties estimated at trillions of naira. The federal government estimated that more than 2 million Nigerians were displaced, while the national economy lost more than 4.2 trillion naira to the floods. Apart from the impact of the flooding on businesses, it could push food prices higher in a nation where millions have already fallen into food poverty in the past 2 years. Over the next 2 to 3 months, agriculture business investors, business owners, property and asset managers, families and individuals must proactively take action to mitigate the devastating human and material losses that could arise from the oncoming floods.